This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so in our last class, we have discussed about how we can create a table, how we can create a data element. Okay, today we are going to move ahead and we will be looking into. Also, we have seen how we can create the domain. Okay, so this part we have already seen. We'll be looking into some other stuff like table maintenance generator, but before that, I will be seeing in detail that what's this value table and what is this check table. Let's go ahead and I will try to understand what is the value table and what is the check table. I'm going to log in into the system. Go to AC11, the data dictionary transaction, and here yesterday we have created one table, employee table. We'll go over here and this is the field we have created. We understood what's the difference between like if we are going to give the MANDT field and if we are not going to give the MANDT field. MANDT field depends like it implies that if your table data is client dependent or not. If it is present, that means the table data is client dependent. That we have seen. We have given some field over here and then after we have created some data element over here. So this is the data element we have created. For this we have created the domain. Okay, in this domain we are having one tab called value range. In this domain we have a tab called a value range. Here you can see that an option is here as a value table. This is known as the value table. Okay, this is known as the value table. So for example, if you go and check your /o SE11, or maybe what you can do that we have given the MANDT field. MANDT field. Let me go back. We are having the data element for MANDT is same. Double click on this MANDT data element. I have just double clicked on this data element. It has come over here. Double click on this domain once again. Go to this value range and here you can see that you are having the value table as a T000. Okay, this value table is there as a T000. What is the significance of this value table? Does it appear when uh, when you are going to click on F4? F4 means F4 stands for the search help. F4 stands for the search help. Here you can see that this MNDT is not coming over here. So let me take one proper example. Okay, MNDT will not come over there. This is having the feature like that. Okay, so and employee ID, I have not given any value table. So I will take one existing example from Mara table. Go to this Mara table and here the material number we are having, right? And let me take some example. Okay, we can take one example. Let's go to Marcy table. Instead of Mara, we'll go to the Marcy or Maradi. Okay, this storage location we are having over here. Go to this LGORT Okay, double click over there and go to this value range, and here this value table is coming T001L. So the significance of this value table is when you are going to create the foreign key relationship, when you are going to create the you know foreign key relationship, that means when you are going to assign the check table, at that time it will be at that time it will be given you as an option to give the check table. It will be proposed as a option to give as a check table. What I mean to say that what I mean to say that whatever the whatever the value table is over here, T001L, T001L. So value table is nothing but it's a kind of customizing table over here. In this particular situation, it can be any table. For this storage location, it will contain all the here you can see that all the storage location available in this system it will contain, right? So developer knows that in future if someone is going to create for that particular field, you know like this is the field which we are having. What is the name of field? LGORT. So developer is knowing that if he's going to create some table, developer is knowing if he's going to create some table. For example, I'm going to create a table. Okay, slash so SC11, come over here and let's create one table called Jade Mardi. Okay, so I'll give that Jade MB24 underscore Mardi. Click on this create button and just it's a demo kind of table, demo table 2, and the delivery class I'm going to select from here A, and from here I'm going to choose this display or maintenance allowed. Just save it, local object and field. Under the field I'll copy some field from here, control Y. I'll copy this field from here and now I'll paste it over here. Okay, MNDT, MATNA, Vox, LGORT. Okay, press enter, just save it. Already this data element are there created, right? I have just copied from here and pasted it over there. So already this data element and all is created. I'm just going to take some field, key field. So all this key combination of the field is going to be here, and some custom field or some another field I'm going to give something like test. Okay, and here some Jade test, maybe I'm going to give some name over here, some just a hypothetical example. Just I want to show you that how it's going to behave if a value table is assigned. Okay, Jade name, already this a data element is created, right? One thing over here you can observe that this particular LGORT underscore D, if you double click over here, already I have shown you that for this particular, this value table is assigned. So if we're going to create the check table, okay, but before going to the check table, I would like to explain about what is the check table and what's the significance of check table. Okay, so suppose you are having, you are having some data over here. Okay, you are having some data over here. For example, this is your table, one table you are having. Okay, this is one table you are having. I'm going to give the name of the table as a employee table. For example, we are having this table as an employee table. Here we are having the employee ID and Here we are having the employee name, employee ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is my employee ID and the employee name is something like Pankaj, Sham, Madan, okay, Shiva, and then I can give Prashanti. So these are some employee we are having. Now what I want to do that I want to create one another table for the same employee. For the same employee, I want to create one another table. Okay. So here I will teach you one more concept that uh, okay, fine. Leave it like this only. I will see that one later. Here, what I want to do, this is the employee master table I have created over here. All the employee information is here. Now, what I want to do that, I'm going to create the employee address table. Employee address table. This table is going to contain the address. Okay. So here you are having employee ID. Here you are having the address. Okay. The name and all is not required over here. The name and all is not required over here. Okay. And why I have created a separate table for the address, because this address can contain in multiple line. Okay, so I will give one more, I will put one more column over here. I'm going to insert one more column, and in this column I will give the line count. Okay, so here the employee ID is 1. For this employee ID, the line count is 1. And for the same employee ID, because the address is long, so in the second line also their address is going. For example, here they have given some address Kolkata, and then something different text is there, and then in the next line they are writing the West Bengal, something like that. Similarly, for the employee ID 3, the line count, suppose in 3, in 3 line, their address is going to get accommodate. Okay. Now, what I'm trying to, sorry, the employee number 2, we can give it over here and 2. Now, in your organization, okay, here, let me give the Delhi or something like that. Okay. Their address is Delhi. The complete address, it's not going to accommodate in the single line, so here also something, and here actually it should be Delhi, and here I'm going to give central Delhi or something like Dwarika. Okay, now Dwarika is a place resides inside the Delhi, so this you know this is going ahead, and this address is not accommodated, so it's coming over here in the third line for the second number employee. Now, in your organization, some people is maintaining this employee address data. Employee address data is maintained by some people. By mistake, suppose what they are going to do that, by mistake, what they are going to do that, they are going to enter the employee number 7. They were actually trying to enter the employee number 3, to put the address, but by mistake, they have given 7, and they started under the impression that they are maintaining the data for this employee number 3. Okay, they are maintaining some address information. Now, 1 or 2 employee number is the valid employee number. This 1 and 2 employee number is the valid employee number, whereas the 7 number employee does not exist under the employee master data. So we must have to perform a check. We must have to perform a check, to this employee ID with this employee ID. Okay, so that if some wrong entry I'm going to give it over here, it will stop me. It should stop me. Okay, so this can be done with the help of the concept called foreign key relationship. Foreign key relationship. Foreign key relationship. This is also known as the different terminology referential constraint. Referential constraint. We are assigning a referential constraint. Okay. So what constraint we are giving? What constraint we are giving? Constant we are giving whatever the employee ID is here, only that employee ID should be here, not other than this. So that when I will give the 7 number employee, it will give me the error. Okay, it will give me the error that this employee does not present in this employee ID. Okay, so now for this employee ID, I want to put the check table relationship with this. Okay, so this table is known as the check table. This table is known as the check table. Okay, this table is known as the check table. Because the data of this employee address table is getting checked with this employee master data. Okay, now this check table is having a key. This key, this employee ID must be the primary key. The check table field through which this constant is getting applied, it must be a primary key. Just remember. Okay, so that check table, the table field, the check table field must be the primary key. Must be primary key. Okay, this key is known as, here if you see here actually this key is known as the foreign key. Okay, this key is known as the foreign key for this particular table. Okay, with respect to this check table, this key, though here also combination of employee ID and line count is key over here. You can uniquely you can identify with the help of employee ID and line count in this address table, right? So here the combination of employee ID and line count is going to be primary key over here, but only the employee ID is here known as the foreign key. So these are some terminology, but to restrict the to stop the invalid value, we use the check table relate. Okay, here also are you able to hear me? Can you please confirm if you are able to hear me properly?
Yes, Pankaj.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes, Pankaj.
okay. Yeah, thank you. Some net issue is there from my side, so you might be facing some issue. Now it should be fine because I'm connected with my broadband. Okay, so come over here. This part you understood. Now, what I'm trying to do it over here, that LGORT, this storage allocation we are having over here. I want, I don't want to provide any invalid value over here. Okay, at this point of time, this is my custom table. Okay, this is my custom table which just I have prepared. Here there is no check table or something like that we have done. Okay, check the syntax. This is the warning. I'm just going to ignore. Activate this one. Data class, just give the data class and all. Save it, go back and activate this one. It is now activated. So that data class and all option, you can go to the technical settings and from there you can give. If you don't give, if you forget, and by give without giving that one, you click on this activate button, automatically it will take you over there and ask you to provide that value. That's what it happened with me just now. Okay, now activate it. Everything now is maintained. I don't want to see the warning. Now it is activated. Okay, if you go and create the entry, go to utility and table contents, create the entry. Here you will be able to create the entry. I'm giving some material number over here. Works, I'm going to give some works, for example, from here only. Let me take some plant. So 1000 plant, and the LGORT. For this LGORT, nothing is coming, right? I'm just giving this 0001 and name that name I'm going to give that the storage location 1, storage location 1, something like that. Just save it and you can see that database record successfully created. Okay, this LGORT 0001, it's not checking anything with this LGORT, whether this is valid or not valid, right? It's not checking anything. Okay, how I came to know that it's not checking anything? The reason behind that, if it would be checking something, no, if it would be checking something, what would happen that here a 4 option will come, you know what I mean to say that over here, that just go back and you can go to that particular table for this LGORT. I will just copy that value table. It is just given as a value table, but at this point of time it is not checking with this. It's not checking with this. Okay, you if you click on this content, if you click on this content here also, though the value table is present, but here a 4 option is not coming. Okay, here a 4 option is coming for this material number. For this plant, F4 option is coming, right? But for this LGORT, F4 option is not coming. I will show you why for this material number and works that F4 option is coming. On the other hand, for this LGORT, the F4 option is not coming. Okay, though the value table is there, right? Value table, we have given it over here, right? So what I mean to say that if you have given the value table, it does not mean that this value table will come under the A4 option. It will be showing you under this A4 option, though it is having some data over here, right? 100 HLS, all this data is there, right? What I have given while giving the entry over that, I have given 0001. This entry is present over here. That's fine. It's telling that number of entries that meets the selection criteria is 10. That means this storage location is present over here. For example, but suppose I'm going to give some 3 4 5 6. Let me check if this is storage location. You can see the number of entries that meet the solution criteria. Selection criteria is 0. That means this 3 4 5 6 storage location is not present. But if I want but if I go over there, the custom table which I have just prepared, okay, the custom table which we have just created, you can say that this is my custom table. Again, if I go and create the entries, I'm going to take some another material, same material you can take, there is no problem, because the combination of all these three should be different, right? And here I'm going to take this 3 4 5 6. This also will not give you any error or something like that, so entry 2, I'm just going to give entry 2. Click on this save button and you can see the database record successfully created. What I want, this 3 4 5 6 is not present in the value table, right? The main table. Then why it should not be inserted in this particular table. So I'm going to, I'm going to use the check table relationship. You can see this is the invalid value I have entered. Okay, it should stop me. So what we can do, that we can put the cursor over here and we will create the foreign key relationship for this particular field. Put the cursor, click on this foreign key icon, and here it's telling, you can see that it's proposing create a proposal with value table T001L as a check table. So that's the meaning of a value table. If you have given the value table, it will be created as it will be proposed as a check table. If you don't give over there, it will not come anything, and you know you will have to give yourself, you will have to think yourself what actually value will have to provide. So the developer who creates the table, he knows that which can be the better table, which can be the suitable table. So while at the time of development itself for that particular domain, he gives the relevant table, okay, at the value table, so that at this point of time when someone is going to create the check table, that should be proposed. Click on this yes button. You can give some, you know text over here. Leave it all these things as it is, nothing you have to do. Suppose something is going to, suppose something is going to be wrong. Wrong means if that particular value is not matching. So you can give your custom message also over here. Okay, you can give some custom message here. You can see the application area has been created. You can create some application area. Let us see if some G area someone has created or not. F4. This is, you can see that J test, some application area can be created, and here the message number can be created. Okay, so I think, I'm not sure, this application area is, I believe, message ID. So I will show you. Okay, but these all things is not required. Okay, this all things is not required. Whatever it is there by default, here you can see the check required, also leave it like that, it is important. If you don't give anything, it will give you the error message. Okay, if you don't give anything, it will give you system message, it will give if something is going to wrong. But if you give the custom message over there, it will give the custom message if the check table is invalidated, right? So now I'm going to give at this point of time invalid entry. Okay, so a one works, and the invalid entry, I'm just going to give something 7873. Just go to that table, that go to that table SC11, and here we are. Okay, we can go from here directly. LGORT, value range T001L. Just remember this table and come over here, give that value what I have given 7873. Let's check over here 7873. If it is present, no, there is no problem. It is not present, right? So at this point of time, now it will give you the error. Okay, and here also you can see that now that F4 option is coming. As soon as we have given the check table, the F4 option is coming. Fine. 7873 is not the valid entry. You can give some entry 3 over here and click on the save button. It will tell that entry does not exist in this table, right? So this is how you can validate your entry. This is how you can validate your entry. So here, this is the system generated message. This is the system message. If you want to keep your message, you can give by creating the application area. Okay, fine. So do you want to exit? Yes, I want to exit. But if you give the valid entry over there, it will allow you. So valid entry, if you give, it will allow you. So 7873, this 0001 was the valid entry, or maybe we can take some another valid entry from here. Okay, let's F it, and some valid entry H, L, and L is the valid entry. Come over here, you can give it. Or if you want to see the list of valid entry, you can just press F4, and from here also you can select the list of a valid entry will come based upon this material number and works. Based upon this material number and works, you can see that it has filtered over here this plant storage location, right? So this is what we are able to see it over here. If you give it H, L, and L over here and click on the save button. Okay, now another thing, that entry here, it's telling that 1000 H, L, and L does not exist. It's telling the combination of, it's looking towards the combination of. Okay, it's looking towards the combination of 1000 and HL and L. So just I have told you that for which table we are going to put the foreign key relationship over here, this table, right? We are going to put the foreign key relationship which we have just given it, that for this LGORT, click on this foreign key, and this is the table T001L, and in the T001L we are having two key field over there, right? In the T001L, it's taking some time. Just I have clicked on this foreign key. Here you can see that when we have given the T01L, all the primary key of that T01L has been come. So combination of all these things should be considered. The combination of all the primary key, and that is also the correct way. Only by validating this LGORT is not the correct way. If you just want to change it, you can do so. Okay, you can remove these two fields, but it will not be validated, because that is the checkable concept, that with all the primary key, combination of all the primary key, when we create the check table, suppose this employee underscore ID, right? And here, whatever you are having the combination over here, suppose this employee ID, here this line underscore count, right? This line underscore count, if we're going to make the foreign key relationship with some field over here, then we'll have to consider all the primary key. So here in this particular scenario, only we are having one primary key, one field over here we are having. But in some cases, or in most of the cases, you will be having this some set of field as a primary key, right? That is what we are having over here for this LGORT. The set of field we are having as a primary key. Here you can see this set works and LGORT. So you must have to provide both the combination together. Okay, then only it will take. All right. So here, however, that is proposing, you know, itself, that's automatically proposing the value. So we can select the valid value from there, press F4, take some valid value from here. 1000 is fine. Click on the save button. In this case, it will be successfully inserted. But if you give some, invalid value, it will not be inserted. That's the concept of, check table. So hope you understood the check table. If you have any concern or if you have any question, please feel free to ask, feel free to discuss over here. Okay, or else I will go to the next concept. Any question? Fine. Because you don't have any question, what I will do that I will get to the next concept, that is called the table maintenance generator. Okay, go to this display mode. For this table, here that every time I'm going to the table contents and creating the entry from here, but this is not the efficient way. Suppose if you have to create the multiple entry, how many times you will go over there and one by one you will enter the value, right? Or suppose your customer want to enter the value, you will not be able to give the direct authorization of SE11 transaction, and he will be going over there into this utility table content and all, he will feel bored. Okay, so for that purpose to maintain the entry, we are having the concept called table maintenance generator. In short, this is also known as TMG, table maintenance generator. To create the table maintenance generator, go to this utility, click on this table maintenance generator, or we are having a T code SC54. We can go to that T code directly. It is also taking to that T code actually, SC54. Okay, come over here, and I don't want to give any authorization group as of now. I don't want to uh, you know do like in such a way that I don't want to check any kind of authorization. Okay, so for that purpose we'll be having one option over here. Let me go and see if some no authorization, get one option over here, no authorization. Okay, so here that option I'm not getting, no problem. Actually that comes in beginning itself, but this system is the backup system. Yeah, this one actually, it's there, NC ampersand NC ampersand. Okay, double click over here and it will be selected. And now the function group, you'll have to give the function group over here. Okay, press F4 and select some function group. There is no valid function group, so what I will do that I will create a function group. So to create a function group, we must have to go to the transaction called SE80. SE80, we'll have to go over here and we will have to create the function group. Here I'm going to create one function group ZMB 24 August demo. Press enter. This function group does not exist. It is asking, do you want to create this function group? Yes, I want to create function group. Click on this save button, local object, and this function group is now created. You can see that this function group is now created. No need of activation or something like that. Okay, no, it's there. We'll have to activate. Here the option is giving. Okay, activate this one. So 99% of the object you must have to activate. Okay, some of the object is not required to be activated. By simply uh, click on the save button itself, it's going to work. So go to the master program, and here we are having the option to activate. Click on this activate button. It is selected now. Click on this OK, and this time it got activated. Okay, so if it's not getting activated, what you can do, you can right click over here, and from here you can activate, or you can just double click over here, go to the master program, and from there you can activate. It will be activated. Okay, so I have created this function group. Now come over here and give this value over here, press enter. Just we have pressed enter, and here the maintenance type 1 or 2, it's there. Give one a step, give some a random value over here, 0 0 1 I'm going to give. Or if you don't know what value you should give, here you can select find a screen number. Automatically it will propose the screen number. Click on this OK button, and screen number 1 has been proposed, because that was the new function group which I have just created. This function group and the screen is associated with each other. Each function group is going to have the screen, and my function group is the new function group. That's why it is starting with a 1. Okay, now here you are having two options. Just leave it as it is. Click on this create button and click on this save button. Go to the local object, and here it will create the table maintenance generator. Okay, okay, fine, this is okay, no problem. This some information message it is telling, we can ignore this one. Now go back, and our table maintenance generator has been created now. Okay, now just go back and activate once more this table over here. Go to the utility and try to clear the entry, and you can see that this time this is coming like this. Okay, this time it's coming like this. The name, this is the last name, and this is here, and you can maintain the entry over here. The several entry can be maintained in one go by clicking on the new entry, right? So this is how we can create the table maintenance generator. But one problem we are having over here, that plus is coming. Okay, why? Because we have not properly maintained this label. So just maintain the label for everywhere, and now just save it, go back and double click over here. For each data element I'm going to now maintain the label. Okay, so for all the short, medium, long and heading, I'm going to maintain all these things. Okay, save it, go back and go to the employee last name, go into the change mode, control last name actually, copy this, control V, control V, control V. So everything I have maintained. Now save it and just come salary, go into the change mode, salary also I will give in all this a label. Save, check the syntax, activate this one, activate. So all the data element I have changed almost, right? Double click, try to activate it over here. Okay, if this is in inactive state, activate this. Yeah, sorry. Again, I'm facing frequently the network issue. Sorry for that. Yeah, so what I'm doing actually, because I have changed all these data element, I'm activating all the data element one by one. But what I can do that I can select all together all these three data element from here, and we can click on this activate button. All these three data element is now activated, and then once again we can activate this table. Okay, but the table maintenance generator, still will not, you can, if you can go to this utility and click on this create entry in that table maintenance generator, this will not come. You will have to regenerate the table maintenance generator. If you are going to do any changes, you must have to regenerate the table maintenance generator once again. I'm going to, you know regenerate once again. So what I will do that I will go into the change mode, go to this utility and go to this table maintenance generator, and either you'll have to change or you'll have to delete, and once again you'll have to create. Both is possible, both you can do it. Okay, I'm going to, click on this change button. If you're not able to understand anything, select everything from here, click on this OK button. Okay, and click on this egg, select this one. This is like deleting and creating once again. Okay, deleting and creating once again. You can see that will be deleted and recreated. So on that screen, this data now should come. Okay, now it has been successfully completed. Click on this and click on this create entries. Oh, /n SA. Once again we go, it didn't refresh the buffer, so it's creating the problem. Once again I will go to this display, click on this utility and go to this table contents, create entries, and this time you can see that the first name and last name and salary is coming. So this is how you can create the table maintenance generator. Okay, if you have any question, please feel free to ask. Okay, so this was some important stuff which I wanted to share from the table. There are so many stuff in this table, but as a basic ABAP from the ABAP with respect to functional point of view, other thing is not required. That I will cover in the intermediate level ABAP and advanced level ABAP. Okay, this unnecessary thing, just I don't want to confuse you. Okay, so now here you can just come, and I'm going to give the view. We should have some basic idea about the view and a little bit idea about the search help that we will discuss tomorrow. And just after this, I will come to the report. This report is going to be very helpful for you people, okay, who is from basically from the functional background, or who is only willing to learn the basic ABAP. Okay, it's going to be very helpful. Okay, and after this report, we'll learn a bit about the enhancement is important, and then we will learn in detail about the debugging. Okay, so this much only is required from the functional point of view. If you know this much, most of the work you are going to do without any problem. Okay, fine, then with this let's stop our session over here, and
Hey
we'll,
Pankaj,
yeah,
this is
yes,
Prashanti.
yeah.
So, uh, when we are, when we are looking at something and when we are trying to find the tables behind some functional screen,
Mm-hmm.
when we go try to look at the technical settings, generally sometimes it's not always the table. There is a structure behind it, right?
Right, right, yes, yes, yes.
How can we go around and find whatever that table related to that structure, or how can we find?
Yeah, for that we require the debugging skill, because we'll have to put the breakpoint where that particular structure is getting filled. We'll have to backtrack and we have to check how the data is going to be filled in that particular structure. That is the way only.
Okay.
Another, yeah, or else what you can do that you can put the trace. We are having the trace of SunST05 or ST12. By activating the trace, you can just check what are the table is getting hit, but by that way you will not be going to the actual table, because you will get the list of table which has been
Correct.
hit during the transaction. Okay, so there the debugging skill will help you to
Okay.
identify from which table the data is getting fetched. Okay,
Okay. Okay. No
so
problem.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, so the debugging skill, we will see how such kind of problem we can tackle. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
fine then. Any other question?
I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you, no problem. Fine then, let's meet tomorrow. Bye bye, have a nice day.